We have waited so long that people started making jokes about everything happening in this universe before Grand Theft Auto 6 ever sees the light of day. That line, floating in social media feeds worldwide, captures the exasperation and fervor that have surrounded this title for what feels like an eternity. The moment the second trailer finally emerged, without any ceremonial countdown or splashy conference announcement, it felt like the entire internet paused to say, "At last." Then, after that collective gasp, the speculation reached an even higher pitch. And what does that mean for us right now? It means we are standing on the edge of quite possibly the biggest shift in the gaming landscape in modern times. And everything from consoles to other entertainment sectors is going to feel the shockwave. Today we will plunge into the storms and mysteries swirling around Grand Theft Auto 6, the unstoppable juggernaut that has hovered just beyond our grasp for so many years. We will unravel the economic riptide it might generate, the profound influence it could have on everything from hardware sales to rival studio schedules, and why so many gamers across the planet have latched onto this franchise like a lifeline. In this deep dive, we will investigate how Rockstar Games has cultivated an almost mythic status, why they are the ones who can extensively shape or even break expectations about what blockbuster gaming is supposed to be. So, get ready. In this episode, we are unveiling the whispers of multi-billion-dollar budgets, the tension of a corporate world on pins and needles, and even the way other entertainment endeavors are bracing for the arrival of a new open-world phenomenon. We will discuss the mania the second trailer set off, the speculation about the two fresh, vibrant protagonists, and the little details in the visuals that caused fans to throw around phrases like next-level immersion and biggest leap in gaming history. By the end of this journey, we might all want to know, is this game so massive that it risks toppling itself under the weight of hype, or will it indeed redefine the entire entertainment space? And if you love hearing these deep dives, consider showing some support. Feel free to drop a like if this opening has already grabbed your imagination, because we are just getting started. Let's start with one of the most burning questions. How did the hype for Grand Theft Auto 6 become so monumental that it appeared to eclipse every other gaming release, every other big reveal, even overshadowing entire film premieres in a matter of hours? To trace this story, we have to look back nearly 2 decades to the days of Grand Theft Auto 3, which exploded onto the scene in 2001 with its revolutionary three-dimensional open-world structure. That pivot from a top-down chaos simulator to an immersive city environment brought a new wave of players into the fold, players who discovered the thrill and freedom to do just about anything inside a living, breathing digital city. Since then, Rockstar Games has honed, refined, and enriched that formula with each new installment, culminating most recently in Grand Theft Auto 5's universal success. Even now, more than a decade after its original release, Grand Theft Auto 5 remains a force of nature. We have all heard the staggering statistics about that game. Fans of the series point out how Grand Theft Auto 5 soared to become one of the best-selling games of all time, amassing revenue in the range of $8 billion, if not more, thanks to repeated re-releases and an endlessly updated online mode. And of course, that is where some of the pressure on Grand Theft Auto 6 comes from. It has been a mind-bogglingly profitable business model, with microtransactions, expansions, and a robust modding community that let players create entire new worlds. So, when Rockstar Games and its parent company observe the success of Grand Theft Auto 5, they realize, yes, they have struck gold, but it also means the next iteration cannot be a mere step forward. It must be a gargantuan leap. Now, about that second trailer, one typical aspect of game marketing in the modern age is timed releases with huge lead-ups. But Rockstar just decided to send it out into the world with no formal announcement, and yet, it felt orchestrated in its own cryptic way, almost as if Rockstar wanted fans to feel the unexpected jolt, reminiscent of the series' sudden plot twists. Within hours, word spread faster than wildfire. Suddenly, millions and millions of eyes were glued to the footage, and the rumor mills started churning in overdrive. Had we just seen glimpses of a fictionalized Florida reminiscent of Vice City, complete with neon-soaked beaches and lavish mansions? Did those new protagonists, the two rebellious souls we caught only fleeting glimpses of, represent something deeper about the changing face of the series? In recent years, blockbuster games like this have become akin to tentpole theatrical releases, perhaps even overshadowing them. The text on the original file made it clear. If you look at the financial magnitude, Grand Theft Auto 5 netted somewhere near $8 billion over its lifespan, a number that dwarfs the global haul of many big-name Hollywood IPs. This alone explains why so many in the industry hold their breath as Rockstar inches closer to unveiling a new era of open-world dominance. Blockbuster gaming has grown more elaborate and expensive. The budgets can easily balloon into nine-digit territory. The marketing alone could rival a high-profile film. Yet, ironically, the gaming market has also grown more precarious. If a massive launch stumbles or fails to hold players' attention, a studio can collapse under the weight of that disappointment. But Rockstar Games has proven to be a cunning old fox, taking its time, perfecting each detail, and refusing to chase quick windfalls. Yes, the developer has reduced its overall output. We only saw one other big release, Red Dead Redemption 2, in the last decade. But that approach, while limiting the number of titles, ensures that every new Rockstar product arrives like a major cultural event. You can practically hear the hum of the hype swirling across all social platforms, from online forums to casual gaming circles. Journalists line up for any scrap of news, gaming influencers amplify every rumor, and the unstoppable momentum of anticipation seems to have become part of Rockstar's identity. That leads us quite naturally to the question of risk. The original text pointed out that building a massive blockbuster costs a fortune and can lead to catastrophic losses if it fails to capture enough players. There are cautionary tales of big-budget multiplayer titles launching with enormous fanfare, only to disappear quietly a few short months later. However, Grand Theft Auto appears to be outside that norm. Its lineage nearly guarantees the brand recognition to weather the storms. Even if the new entry overcame negative press or had momentary stumbles, many experts believe it would still thrive. One particularly interesting angle is the speculation about the effect of Grand Theft Auto 6 on next-generation console sales. According to many analysts, a game of this magnitude can drive hardware purchases in a way few other titles can. It happened before when Grand Theft Auto 5 launched on last-generation consoles, then re-released on the newer systems, each time spurring a wave of new adopters. It is widely expected that this new entry in the franchise, rumored to land somewhere in 2025 or 2026, may arrive at a point where console manufacturers have already shifted focus to mid-generation upgrades or even next-generation prototypes. The big question, then, is whether the massive surge in momentum from a blockbuster like Grand Theft Auto 6 might overshadow the hardware transition itself. Indeed, the irony is that for many potential buyers, the moment they choose to shell out for a new system might be precisely when Rockstar releases this mega game. And if that release date teeters toward the second half of the current console cycle, the gaming industry faces the conundrum. After players spend that money, will they be willing to upgrade to another console that might launch a short time later? Are we looking at a scenario in which a critical wave of mainstream gamers invests in hardware, primarily for this one blockbuster, and then sits out the transition to even newer consoles? A large chunk of the community might say, why bother? We just got the system that can run the biggest game around. Rockstar certainly seems conscious of these realities. The developer is not just shaping a game. It could very well be shaping the direction of the entire medium for the next decade. From the glimpses we saw in the trailer, it is obvious this game is not a simple iteration. The advanced detail in furniture physics, lighting, reflection systems, and environment density all point to a technical leap reminiscent of those generational shifts we have seen in only the most significant releases. And that is not to mention the hinted storyline, which seemingly leans into a modern-day backdrop with two protagonists, possibly a couple or close partners, giving players the chance to explore not just one perspective, but a dual narrative that might even weave together or diverge at key junctures. There is also a lot of talk about how the humor and the thematic tone of the series, known for its outlandish satire, might shift or evolve in this modern climate. Grand Theft Auto has always been edgy, sometimes stirring controversy for over-the-top violence or comedic jabs at real-world figures and societal norms. Will Rockstar maintain that brazen approach, or will they reflect trends in a more measured, less abrasive tone? Based on the developer's history, it is likely that they will not pull many punches when it comes to mocking celebrity culture, fleeting internet trends, political fiascos, and everything in between. Not only does that boldness define Grand Theft Auto's identity, but it keeps players guessing what scandalous or hilarious storyline might surface in a new release. One must also consider Grand Theft Auto's online component. Grand Theft Auto Online for the fifth installment became a revenue goldmine. Microtransactions soared, expansions and new modes kept rolling in, and an entire role-playing subculture blossomed, with players creating intricate narratives, hosting events, and streaming them to enthusiastic audiences on every streaming platform. This element of the series is arguably as big a draw as the single-player campaign. Everyone is dying to know if Grand Theft Auto 6's online portion will again rewrite the rules of social gaming. Are we going to see a sprawling city that morphs over time? Will Rockstar embrace user-generated content to an even greater extent, perhaps enabling players to craft entire stories and quests within that digital playground? All these predictions underscore the significance of the game in the broader entertainment landscape. As the original text highlighted, developers, movie studios, and entire entertainment conglomerates are watching Grand Theft Auto 6 because it might overshadow major film or television releases slotted around its launch window. It might even overshadow other gaming releases, prompting studios to either move their schedules or risk losing out on the big dollars. When a game is poised to sell tens of millions of copies and secure countless hours of player engagement, that can undercut the appeal of a new streaming series or a blockbuster in theaters. Time is finite after all, and if everyone is glued to their controller exploring the next digital frontier, they might not be so interested in that new movie premiere. But with massive success comes massive pressure. Even after Rockstar's methodical approach, many wonder if they can possibly satisfy the level of anticipation. The series has had many controversies in the past, from thorny issues about violence to more comedic controversies regarding how it satirizes real-life figures or cultural topics. Any slip in tone might ignite a firestorm in our current social media environment. As eager as fans are to see Rockstar once again push the boundaries, there is a subset of fans who worry about whether the developers might either overstep or hold back. In either scenario, some portion of the audience could be disappointed. Meanwhile, the industry itself is in a peculiar place. As the text mentioned, we have seen wave after wave of layoffs and high-profile studio closures across the gaming landscape, even though gaming revenue globally sits in the hundreds of billions of dollars. Part of the problem is the unpredictability of what resonates with modern audiences. A single viral indie or seemingly unstoppable free-to-play behemoth might vacuum up overwhelming attention and dollars, leaving behind numerous big-budget hopefuls that fail to meet lofty projections. For that reason, the hype around Grand Theft Auto 6 can be a double-edged sword. Many other publishers will look at Rockstar and say, "We want that success," forgetting that Rockstar's brand and decades of success are not easily replicated. Grand Theft Auto 6, being a known quantity in the sense that it comes with a monstrous built-in fanbase, might indeed be too big to fail. But what if it does not surpass the staggering heights of its predecessor? That question alone can keep executives and industry watchers up at night. If it falls short by even a small margin, would some consider that a disappointment? Are expectations so astronomical that the only possibility is to leapfrog into a new dimension of popularity? This sets an almost impossible standard. Rockstar's unwavering confidence suggests they relish the challenge, but no one can fully predict how players will react months or years down the line. To truly appreciate this phenomenon, let us momentarily reflect on the bigger shift in gaming that Grand Theft Auto has exemplified for nearly 2 decades. The move to larger open worlds, flamboyant storytelling, iconic voice acting, and the synergy between single-player narratives and continuous online expansions. Grand Theft Auto 3, which arrived in 2001, was arguably one of the first games that made you feel part of a living city soaked in crime, drama, and a satirical reflection of modern culture. Vice City and San Andreas took that formula further, each time layering in more sophistication, geographical sprawl, and storyline depth. By the time Grand Theft Auto 5 hit in 2013, the formula was so finely tuned that it turned into a phenomenon, bridging casual players and hardcore gamers alike. People who seldom picked up a controller found themselves enthralled by the comedic radio stations, the comedic jabs at real-life pop culture, and the adrenaline rush of a massive crime saga that let them explore the city at their own pace. Now, that legacy has become the springboard for something bigger. That second trailer, the glimpses of what looks like a reimagined Vice City environment, the way seemingly mundane textures shimmer with realism, the rapid chat across social media about how this is the next big hit. There is a sense that we might be turning a new page, not only for Grand Theft Auto, but for gaming in general. Will this spur copycats from competing studios? Almost assuredly. Will some of those studios fail in trying to replicate Rockstar's formula with a fraction of the budget, staff, or expertise? Quite possibly. That is the nature of the industry. Some see the big wave and try to ride it, but a wave this huge can swallow the unprepared. Of course, speculation also runs rampant about the potential synergy between Rockstar's other properties, including Red Dead Redemption, and whether they might share engine tech or lessons learned. The Rockstar Advanced Game Engine is rumored to have gone through significant evolution for Grand Theft Auto 6, promising more advanced AI for pedestrians, seamless transitions between indoor and outdoor environments, and dynamic changes to the city's skyline or weather that you can witness in real time. The possibilities seem endless, and that is precisely what tantalizes fans. It feels like we are approaching a moment in which single-player, online, and emergent experiences fuse together in a city that never stops changing. Yet, in the swirl of the new knowledge the trailer provided, it is worth remembering that the stakes go beyond entertainment. Although gamers spent $184.3 billion on games in 2024, a surprising 55% of that was on mobile purchases. The chunk that feeds console and PC gaming might seem enormous in raw numbers, but the competition among studios for that precious slice is fierce and unforgiving. Grand Theft Auto 6, with its unstoppable hype, stands to command a lion's share of that slice, shaping release schedules, marketing strategies, and perhaps even dictating how other studios position their own franchises. Some might try to slam a major launch right before or right after Rockstar's release window, hoping to grab some attention before the tidal wave hits, or after it has subsided. Others might choose to steer clear entirely, giving Rockstar a wide berth. If you were in charge of launching a big AAA property, would you throw it into the ring against Grand Theft Auto 6? Probably not without serious caution. And this is precisely why we see so many watchers across the entertainment industry. Movies and television only further intensify that puzzle. If you are an executive trying to figure out whether to launch your blockbuster movie or major streaming show, you might be forced to ask, will my target audience be locked in their rooms, exploring every inch of a digital city for the next month? Or will the unstoppable social media chatter revolve around comedic stunts in Grand Theft Auto 6, overshadowing my movie's marketing campaign? Some might scoff at the notion that a video game could harm a film's performance. But in modern entertainment, time truly is the scarcest resource. And yes, if the number of players who want to be part of the next big pop culture phenomenon skyrockets, then it absolutely can affect the box office or streaming figures. As for the fans, they will be dealing with a swirling mixture of excitement, analysis, and apprehension in the months ahead. Because there is so much riding on this game, an entire decade's worth of expectations from Grand Theft Auto 5, years of official silence, and a new trailer that whipped the community into a frenzy. Each new piece of footage or leaked tidbit will be subjected to microscopic analysis. It is a thrilling but nerve-wracking time to be part of this fandom. That is par for the course in the age of modern blockbusters, where the line between developer, publisher, and audience is blurred by the constant feedback loop of social media. But Rockstar's trademark approach remains stoic. Release small bits of information on their own schedule, letting the fans devour every frame, interpret every cryptic shadow or neon sign, and collectively stoke the hype furnace even more. If that is not enough to hook you, consider the fact that other big franchises might completely recalibrate their roads to release in response to Rockstar's timeline. When a single launch can shift billions of dollars in hardware sales and software sales, it is not just about the game. It is about the entire climate of the entertainment world. Just think about the discussion swirling around the teased next consoles from Sony or Microsoft, rumored to be only a few years away. If Grand Theft Auto 6 arrives when these new pieces of hardware are ready to reveal, we could see a perfect storm. Fans might crowdfund speculation about console bundles, exclusive tie-ins, or cameo announcements within the game's online mode. And if you are finding all this as electrifying as we do, perhaps that is another reason to subscribe, because we have a lot more to say on the wild interplay of gaming and pop culture, and we would love to have you with us as we follow these developments. Still, it is not all rosy. Amid the breathtaking vistas and hype, the original text sounded a subtle alarm that so many big-budget games can fail if they do not meet immediate success and sustain player interest. Projects that cost in the hundreds of millions can crash catastrophically, leaving talented developers without work and companies forced into layoffs. That part of the story is not as flashy, but it is worth keeping in mind. Behind every bit of success or failure is a workforce of creative professionals relying on that game's long-term performance. Of course, Rockstar's track record with Grand Theft Auto strongly suggests less risk of a catastrophic flop. But in a world where consumer tastes can change at lightning speed, nothing is 100% guaranteed. In bridging that final gap between unstoppable success and potential letdown, we must circle back to what makes Grand Theft Auto different in the first place. It has the advantage of being a 30-year powerhouse brand, evolving from a quirky top-down romp to a multi-generational phenomenon that has attracted star-studded voice casts, widespread acclaim, and an entire subculture unto itself. Every release becomes a statement piece, something that signals a shift in the way open-world experiences are constructed. It transcends mere gameplay, leaning into art, satire, cinematic immersion, and robust online communities that sometimes become more relevant than the storyline itself. The conversations we have heard across X, Reddit, YouTube, and any forum you can name show that Grand Theft Auto 6 is no simple sequel. It is the potential reinvention of what a blockbuster can be. It mirrors how big companies are deciding where to invest their money in uncertain economic times. It might shape what kind of third-party titles can survive in that environment, influencing decisions around subscription-based services or cloud gaming expansions. It is simply that enormous. We have never truly seen a phenomenon quite like this in gaming. The stakes range from the personal dreams of gamers who have been watching speculation videos for years to the global business strategies of multi-billion-dollar corporations. Because of that, it is vital to note that hype alone does not guarantee a masterpiece. Rockstar has set a near-impossible bar for itself by basically dominating the last decade with Grand Theft Auto 5, stretching its relevancy out through re-releases, major content updates, and PC mods that gave players even more ways to explore the city of Los Santos. If they are promising an even bigger experience, with a whole new region and story teeming with scandal, humor, and advanced gameplay mechanics, they have to deliver an experience that feels revolutionary. Merely being bigger or shinier will not cut it. If Grand Theft Auto 6 meets even half of these lofty expectations, the next decade of gaming will be shaped in its image. If it surpasses them, we may witness a landmark moment that redefines the boundaries of what a single game can accomplish, bridging the gap between all forms of popular entertainment. Either way, its impact is poised to be immeasurable. The only certainty is that after so many years of silence, the conversation has finally burst into the open, leaving fans more alert, more curious, and more vocal than ever before. All eyes remain on Rockstar as it navigates the tightrope walk of delivering on the greatest wave of expectation the gaming industry may ever have seen. And there you have it. The countdown to the new era has begun, and it is brimming with possibility, speculation, and yes, a little anxiety. But that is exactly what makes this story so riveting. Will Grand Theft Auto 6 truly reshape entertainment as we know it, or have we worked ourselves into a frenzy that no product can satisfy? Time will tell, but in the meantime, we have all shared in the wild ride, gleaned clues from cryptic trailers, and analyzed the developer's every move. Until the big day arrives, this hype engine will keep roaring forward, unstoppable, untamed, and undeniably exhilarating. Stay tuned. We have only scratched the surface of what the future might hold.